Hello everyone, let me know if you can hear me. Hi, hi. Can someone confirm if you can hear me? Perfect. Joining by our very close friend and colleague. Her name is Anna Peliushkevych. There you go. There she is. Hi. And she's joining us actually from Malaysia. She's Ukrainian born and raised. And today she's going to be talking to us about how can young people around the world help Ukraine and Ukrainians right now, right? First of all,
Thank you.
Anna, thank you so much for joining and such a last minute, and especially during these insane times that I know they cannot be easy at all for you or your family and for the world itself. Like the whole world is watching, and I'm actually very happy about that there's
Yeah.
so much awareness around these insane war crimes. Um, but I want to ask, like, how are you? How's your family? How are your loved ones? How's everyone in
Yeah.
Ukraine right now?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to have an opportunity, to spread the word and awareness as much as possible. Um, I am like it's weird to say, I am safe, like personally. I am
Yeah.
far away. I was actually supposed to be still in Ukraine. My flight back was supposed to be this week. But because there was a lot of speculation and just like information coming in that this might be happening, um, my family suggested that I sort of like change my flight and like there is one last person to worry about. Um, my family, like part of my family, is the west of Ukraine, which is like calm. There have been shootings there on the first day, and since then it has been pretty calm out there. My aunt and my cousin have actually been, they're from the east part of Ukraine. They're from Kharkiv, which is second biggest city in Ukraine, and it has been under the constant like bombings and shootings, missile
Wow.
strikes for the last 7 days, and um, they have been just spending their nights in bomb shelters and like I cannot honestly, I cannot like imagine it to what kind of fear and frustration like people are going through as they have to to constantly fear for their life. um I think overall it's been like they managed to actually escape today and leave the city, so they're now heading towards um like my mom to stay with my mom. But overall pretty difficult. They constantly this narrative that was at first that they will be bombing only like military bases and military infrastructure. It's like it's complete bullshit.
It was very,
It
very
was,
fastly debunked that. And I'm
yeah.
glad the world is seeing this also.
And it's
Yeah.
just truly horrific to see not only like the cities being destroyed, the cities that have been there for centuries, and just like the history being destroyed, but also like schools being targeted, kindergartens being targeted, maternity homes being targeted, as there are people in the bomb shelter, like pregnant women, um, in cases like even giving birth to their children in a bomb shelter. Like it's truly a horrific thing to witness, and I cannot imagine what it is to experience that and
Hmm.
to live through that.
It's impossible to imagine. It's insane that this is even happening, right? And for those like joining now, Anna is actually most of you can relate with this. Anna is an ex-ice hacker. She's also she's Mind Valley. She's living right now in Malaysia, but she's Ukrainian, and she's just telling us her story about how her family is in Ukraine and how can actually young people support Ukrainians at this time. And she was just sharing that her family, part of her family, finally escaped from one of the cities that has been bombed the most. Her direct parents, well, family is actually in a safe place. How crazy that we even have to like mention it this way, right? Anna was in Ukraine like 2 weeks ago, and she was meant to stay until this week. So it's just horrifying, Anna. And I know that you have many friends, of course, and I also have friends as Isaacr and other companies that are reporting from bomb shelters. This is absolutely unthinkable and just terrifying to see someone just
Yeah.
live reporting from
And
a
also,
bomb
just
shelter.
waiting to hear back from people. Like, is the message delivered? Oh my God, why is it not delivered? Is the message read? How long has it been? Is the person busy or is something happening? And like, what do you even say? It's just the constant, how are you? Are you okay? Are you alive? Like, like, what are you doing? Where are you? Are you going someplace else? It's, I don't know, it's a truly horrific time to witness.
Yeah, yeah. And how is it to be Ukrainian right now, but being in a different country? Like how does Ukrainian
Mhm.
the diaspora, like how are they feeling to see their home country being like this and not being able to do much because
I
you're
think
abroad?
that I think one thing that I do want to highlight was these devastating times. It's also incredible to see the unity the Ukrainian like nation has shown, and just the enormous bravery and courage of like everyday Ukrainians who are stealing Russian tanks, who are just like going unarmed to protest the invaders and like to just drive them back off their towns. It's truly something that is um, inspiring, and I'm in awe of that people. And I hope that I have even a shred of that courage and bravery in me. And for those of us abroad, it's really difficult because I think as a nation we have such a strong sense of being Ukrainian and such a strong sense of identity and just like belonging to our home. And I think a lot of people feel guilt for not being there and not being able to help on the ground. I spend my day just on the phone trying to help as much as I can, either to spread information, or if somebody is looking for shelter, or if somebody is trying to get money for um, honestly for anything. There are like donations gathered for everything, starting from like food for babies to animal shelters, to ammunition for like soldiers. And I think for the diaspora overall, it's been really important just to be able to spread the word and make sure that everyone is super clear on what is actually going on. Because I think that the propaganda of the Russian government, unfortunately, has spread not only inside their country, but outside as well. And there are still, communities
Hmm.
out there who don't understand what's happening, because also, this is Russia has not invaded Ukraine on February 24th. This has been happening since 8 years now. And there's a lot of just like misinformation out there. So I think it's really important for us um, to be able to state clearly what's happening. And it's been also incredible to see everyone standing so strongly behind Ukraine and supporting, against this bully. And as well, just trying to mobilize their communities as much they can abroad, to like donate, to provide humanitarian support.
Yeah.
There are more and more outlets like and ways for which you can not only send money but just like send humanitarian help, support refugees, provide homes. And I think everyone who's outside of Ukraine right now um, feels like they are fighting the fight together.
Yeah, I feel like you touched two very important points there also. First of all, Ukrainians and Ukraine is showing the world what actual courage means. And I absolutely love seeing all of these terrible video clips, of course, like they should not be happening, but like seeing how Ukrainians stand up to this terrible war crime, how Ukrainians like are even finding this situation, even your president, like we are, I think the world is obsessed with the strength of a president that was once a comedian and no one like truly believed in him, and he's showing more courage than any president that I have witnessed, right? And that's so powerful. And we know each other from quite a bit, and my own ignorance like didn't know that much about Ukraine, and I feel like that's the situation of many people around the world. And this is also a opportunity right now, like people are standing with Ukraine very, very strong, are actually supporting Ukraine, are actually learning about Ukraine. Of course, it's not the way that it should be happening, but I love this sense of community worldwide that you shared right there. And then the second point, like I can imagine for Ukrainians in the diaspora, like it has to be absolutely exhausting, to say the least, just to be the constant fear in your mind, the constant being maybe 24 hours awake, just checking in on your family and your friends. I cannot even imagine how terrible it has to be. But I'm 100%, of course, super glad that your family is doing as good as they can and they're as safe as they can at this moment. And also for the new people joining, Anna posts amazing resources of Ukraine on her story. She's posting how to donate, what can people around the world do. Also, actual news. She's also debunking some terrible news media that are going around, and even like donation centers that are not actually real. So if you want to follow her, Anna Peliushkevych, we're gonna write it after Anna Peliush. No, I don't remember. We're gonna write it after in the comments. But yes, she's a great resource, of course. Like she's all day trying to spread this awareness of Ukraine and how to support and everything. Which brings me to a second point. I have some questions that some students asked me. So let me go here. Yes, amazing. So one of the favorite questions that people wanted to ask is that how are young
Mm-hmm.
people getting involved in Ukraine? Not only Ukrainians, but like also around the world. Like what are they actually doing? What is something that you're seeing,
Yeah.
and what can they also do
I will
to
start with the
support?
young Ukrainians. I think for us, I think young people in Ukraine have been on the forefront of progress. You know, we started the revolution of dignity, and now we just continue to fight, and people are fighting on all fronts. We actually have now a cyber army. So all of those, like we have a huge IT cluster in Ukraine. Like people, like we have a lot of really talented like engineers and programmers and IT guys, and they have started their own army, and they are, doing what they can to make sure that, our army is safe, and we don't, like there is less misinformation out there. So it's incredible to see just like people using their talents in any way they can. Um, and I think that, as well, we are just, because we will be the ones who will be rebuilding the country, and we strongly believe that we will be rebuilding our own sovereign Ukraine, and we'll make it better and stronger. And we are also just fighting for our past and for everyone who has, already put their lives for our freedom. Um, for the people abroad, I'm just seeing, honestly, just an immense mobilization in terms of how can I help. Everyone's question is, okay, how can I help? How can I support? Um, every time there is a message or somebody asking for help, or someone is, um, we have a very strong as well ISIC community in Ukraine, and it's just 24/7. Like, I need help with this, I need help with that. We have this family, we have that family. Like, everyone is just, whoever is abroad in European countries, everybody is trying to organize humanitarian help. Everyone is trying to organize shelters for refugees. So yeah, I think the question on everyone's mind is just, how can I help today?
That's super powerful, and I love also like how social media is so involved in this, right? And how powerful is that someone from across the world just shares a post. It can seem so silly, right? Sometimes like just sharing. But the amount of, sorry, there's noise in the background, but the amount of awareness that that brings is amazing. And I know that young people, especially students, maybe they don't have enough money or budget to like donate. Even that $1 is donation enough, right? Sometimes just like you said, I think like skip your coffee that day, skip that taxi that day, and just donate $1, $5, whatever you can. And it's something that Educately has personally done, of course. But on the other side, if you don't have the budget to donate, I think the best second thing is just spreading the awareness, right? Like as simple as putting something on your stories, talking about it, mentioning it, and be involved, like
Yeah,
knowing
I
what's
think
actually
it's,
happening.
I
Correct?
would say the first thing is just educate yourself, and be like, just know what is happening, why is it happening, what are the lies as well, you know, and what is true and what is not. And I think that's just everyone's responsibility right now, is to understand, like, you know, what is happening. I think there are as well a lot of places right now, unfortunately, in Europe, where you can literally donate your time, and, you know, go volunteer. Like, there are a lot of humanitarian spots where people are collecting humanitarian help, and they constantly in need of volunteers to help sort it and organize it. Um, and you can go out and support the peaceful protests that are happening across the world, to show the solidarity with Ukraine, and also just urge, you know, the governments around the globe to support the country, and to impose sanctions, and to pressure Russian government, and just like reaching out to authorities, signing petitions. It might seem so silly at times, you know, like, what can I do? I'm just one person, you know, what is that electronic signature? What is it going to change? But, you know, one person after one person after one person, and then it's a million, and then it's like, it shows the importance of a matter for not only for the governments, but for like ordinary people, like everyday citizens, that these things matter. They can save someone's life, you know. And for somebody who is sitting in a bomb shelter, just losing their houses and losing everything they have, and like fearing for the life of their kids, and whether they have enough food to last till the bombing is over, like, that can be, you know, that they will take any help. And anyone who cares, and anyone who can support in any way, that matters for all of us. And just seeing the world in solidarity, it's just as well helps our country to, it gives the strength to keep on fighting, you know.
Yes, I love that. Keep on fighting. I really, really like that phrase. Yes, so there's many, you guys heard it, there's many ways that young people around the world can support, right? From as simple as sharing something on your social media to spread awareness, to volunteering on your own cities or countries, if they have like a volunteering center that accepts refugees right now, or accepts people that are actually coming from Ukraine, from calling your government, like asking them, putting a petition out, right? Asking them to remove all visas for Ukrainians at this moment. Donating, there's so many donating resources. We're gonna create a post soon on Educately together with Anna that will be sharing all the resources that she can share with us that are actually true, because of course, like there's many false information out there. And again, just as small as $1 is always helpful. Like there's never like a donation that is too small, right? I think, yeah, and just keep asking and keep trying to support all of your Ukrainian friends. I know also like we're Educately, right? Here we send people to study abroad, and one of the favorite places also for Egyptians to study abroad is actually Ukraine, right? And I see that there's quite a few people that are Egyptian here right now. And if you're one of those that have dreamed to study in the Ukraine, donate, right? Just donate, like keep that love and support as much as you can. And also like in the other side, we have actually students that are in Ukraine right now, and they're trying, Ukrainians that are trying to get out, and we are trying to support also as much as you can. So if you're Ukrainian stuck in the country, or you're looking to continue your studies abroad, because the situation of Ukraine right now is terrible. We can also help you as much as we can, even if you don't have the documents because your universities are closed. We're trying to support with the British government and Spanish government to support these Ukrainian students to relocate. And of course, like we keep in contact with Anna and with many other Ukrainians that help us find ways to support the country right now. So thank you so much, Anna. Do you want
Yeah,
to
I
share something?
um,
Something else?
you know,
Yes,
if you know
amazing.
anyone in Ukraine, even though you've just met them once or you don't really keep in touch, do send a message of support. Do, you know, ask them how are they. I think it can feel like, oh, probably, you know, it's not on their mind, but even if they will not respond, it does feel nice to just see everyone, you know, caring and supporting and wishing each other well.
That's beautiful. Yes. So just as a last message to Anna, just send all of your Ukrainian friends a little message to know that you're there for them. And yes, we'll be soon sharing more resources to actually how to help the country. Thank you so much, Anna. And if you want to write in the comments your Instagram, we'll also tag you in the actual post. But she shares amazing resources of how to support Ukraine. She debunks a lot of facts that are being shared online, and yes, a lot of donation spots also. So you can always check her there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and thank you, Anna. We'll continue the conversation to see how much
Bye.
more we can support. Thank you, Anna.